Welcome back. It is budget time in the city of Venice, and with that comes the dreaded budget cuts.
Today, council members cut work that had been scheduled to be done at Wellfield Park. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley joins us now with what else has been trimmed from the city's spending plan. Christopher?
Good evening, Scott and Haley. That work at Wellfield Park totals up to about $40,000. And as you said, that's not the only project that faced the axe today. The Venice Trolley, which had run for the last 2 years, will not be returning next year.
I think we did a good job trying it. I think it's not a bad idea. I mean, sometimes you just don't know how things are going to work out.
The cost to the city was about $70,000 each year for a 3-month run. The point was to move riders to and from different parking lots within the city to cut down on traffic. But the city says most riders were just sightseeing for free.
Close to $8 to $10 per passenger. And I think the feeling is, just speaking for myself, that it might not be a core area of expertise for the city.
At Wellfield Park, $40,000 for work, including adding covered picnic benches, was cut. Because the park is maintained by Sarasota County, the city wants to renegotiate the terms of that maintenance.
It's not that we're going to eliminate this funding, but we're kind of holding it in abeyance to see if we can have further discussions with them.
While Vice Mayor Rich Catiro says the funding isn't being eliminated per se, it was removed from the city's budget.
Rest assured that if there's a true emergency in some of these parks, like Wellfield or Heckscher Park, that we will spend the money to fix them.
Some items, however, were added to the budget. $1 million for a building reserve. Right now, Public Works has 23 city buildings that are in need of work, but they shouldn't expect to get it just yet unless something bad happens.
We deal almost every day with emergencies because all our buildings are so old and because they haven't been maintained as well as they should have been for a number of years.
The oldest and most crucial is Fire Station 1. The roof has been falling apart for years, but no money is set aside in the budget to replace it or work on it. A lot of the other projects that were cut today have to do with sidewalks, improving some of the sidewalks, making them more ADA compliant, while also adding sidewalks to Bayshore Drive, which is a project the residents of Bayshore Drive have been asking for years. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Christopher, thank you. Throughout the country, there are thousands of murders that go unsolved, but in Palmetto, there are a handful of cold cases that detectives and victims' families desperately want solved. The Club Elite shooting back in 2011 is one of those unsolved cases that Palmetto Police Department Detective Chad Euler is assigned to. In all, 24 people were shot and 2 killed. He doesn't have much help for a city with a population of a little more than 12,000 people. Going through these cases with a fine-tooth comb, the Club Elite shooting is the one that stands out for the detective. He says the tragedy affected so many people. For him, solving these cases takes someone coming forward with information.
And it's surprising, given the number of people that were there and the effect that had, you wouldn't have somebody that would come forward and at least throw you that.
Coming up tonight in our 7 p.m. newscast, detectives talk about other challenges that they have solving these cold cases.
Tonight, Venice Regional Bayfront Health has a new CEO. The hospital has appointed Bob Moore as Chief Executive Officer after its previous CEO, John McClain, announced his move to North Carolina to be closer to family. Moore has more than 30 years of executive hospital leadership experience. He helped lead his previous hospital's emergency room expansion, the development of a 12-bed NICU, and the expansion of women's health care services. Moore will join Venice Regional Bayfront Health in late July.
Tropical storm Cindy, still spinning in the Gulf of Mexico, has not yet made landfall. Let's get the latest on the storm and our weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, very busy season already, and here we are just into mid-June right now. We've had 2 named storms in this month alone. Brett, not much, but still, we have Cindy out there, which is really lowering the pressure, 994 millibars. The good news is that it's going to make landfall before it really gets the time to organize and get a little stronger right now. But we can start to see some stronger storms developing on the northwest edge. They're still void of any significant rainfall in the southwest and also the southerly portion of this storm. Top winds are at 50. It continues to make its way off toward the northwest, making landfall sometime around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning near the Texas and Louisiana border. A lot of rain, though, expected away from that landfall as this moisture continues to work its way up northward. This is a large area, some very heavy rainfall, which will be training in that general direction. Once the system gets over land, though, it starts to lose a little bit of its punch, so that may weaken somewhat. You can see the rainfall totals +4 where you see the yellows breaking out, and you can see that's near the panhandle of Florida, maybe even 9 to 12 inches, and right there to the east of Houston, up to 10 inches of rain. Nothing like they saw with Allison back in 2001. When, get this, they had 40 inches of rainfall from Allison back in 2001 in Houston. Well, the rainfall is still very heavy across the southwestern portions of Louisiana and in the panhandle of Florida. For us, it's mainly inland storms, although there is a chance for a few coastal showers to break out later on this evening. More in the forecast, more sunshine in it too, coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A police officer is stabbed in the neck at an airport in Flint, Michigan in what could be an act of terrorism. The FBI says it's aware of reports that the attacker made statements during the stabbing of a police officer at the airport, but it's too early to determine right now their nature or whether the incident was an act of terrorism. The suspect is in FBI custody and being questioned. The airport was evacuated and closed.
I want to let you know that this is an FBI led scene at the moment, and we are working together with our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners to ensure the safety of all.
The officer's condition has been upgraded from critical to stable condition. Today, lawmakers on Capitol Hill investigating Russia's meddling in the U.S. election heard from President Obama's Homeland Security Secretary.
Jay Johnson told senators Russia tried to hack into election systems of nearly 24 states. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
Blunt talk from the man once in charge of keeping the U.S. homeland safe.
The Russian government, at the direction of Vladimir Putin himself, orchestrated cyber attacks on our nation. That is a fact, plain and simple.
Former Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson, the latest ex-intelligence official to tell a Senate panel Russia meddled in the 2016 election. Johnson says one of DHS's top priorities, stopping the Russians from getting into election machines.
I was very concerned about what I was seeing, and this was on my front burner all throughout the pre-election period to encourage the states to come in and seek our assistance.
But Johnson says many states considered election security their issue, declining federal assistance. In a separate hearing, a current DHS official told senators internet-connected election networks in 21 states were possibly targeted by Russian hackers.
Do you have any evidence that the votes themselves were changed in any way in the 2016 presidential election? Dr. Lass?
No, sir. There was no detected change in the vote.
A point President Trump has often made. Johnson was asked if he saw any evidence of collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign before he left office.
Not beyond what has been out there open source.
Johnson deflected when he was asked if the Trump administration was taking the Russia threat seriously, but he warned the U.S. shouldn't lose sight of the big picture, stopping cyber attacks on our democracy. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Belgium is tightening security to counter fears that lone attackers could strike anywhere at any time. The security concerns come one day after a failed bombing attempt at Brussels Central train station. The attacker was killed by soldiers after he charged at them shouting Allah Akbar, which is Arabic for God is great. He tried to set off a powerful nail bomb that could have led to fatalities. The attacker has been identified as a 36-year-old Moroccan national. Belgium's federal prosecutor's office says the man sympathized with the Islamic State group, and police say they found chemicals and material that can be used to make explosives in the man's home. A week after the attack on a GOP congressional baseball team, the FBI is revealing some new details about the investigation. Today, the FBI says the shooting appears to have been a crime of opportunity for a man who hated Republicans. The FBI says the gunman, 66-year-old James Hodgkinson, was living in his van next to the Alexandria ball field for weeks when he spotted the lawmakers practicing there.
He fired over 60 shots, but we do not know his intentions on the potential target.
GOP Majority Whip Steve Scalise was critically injured, and today his recovery status has improved to fair. Capitol Police officers David Bailey and Crystal Griner, who killed Hodgkinson in a gunfight, were also injured.
Hillsborough County officials decide to keep a Confederate statue in place. Today, the county commission voting not to move a Civil War memorial in front of the courthouse. The statue was first erected back in 1911. Advocates of Southern heritage say removing these symbols is a disservice to the men who fought in the Civil War. Meanwhile, in Orlando, crews are moving a Confederate statue from a downtown park to a nearby cemetery following renewed public outcry that it's a symbol of racism and white supremacy.
Passengers traveling in and out of Orlando International Airport are no longer allowed to carry medical marijuana. Even if they have a prescription, travelers will have to do without. Though not everyone is happy about the change and say it will make life harder for patients, the airport is required to follow federal law. And by that law, marijuana is still considered a narcotic.
Well, still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, health experts say there may be another perk to motherhood.
The latest major health benefit from breastfeeding. That's coming up in Health News.
It's a star-spangled 4th of July sales event going on now at Bacon's Furniture and Bedding. With 2.5 acres, Bacon's is Southwest Florida's largest furniture showroom. Beautiful furniture in any style, for any budget, with savings of 30, 50, even 70% off throughout the store. Celebrate your independence with extra savings on all Flex Steel furniture. Come see why Bacon's is voted the #1 place to buy furniture year after year. The 4th of July sales event going on now at Bacon's Furniture and Bedding in Port Charlotte. Nobody beats Bacon's.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
I dream of the creature by night and by day. Wielding my weapon, I slaughter my prey. 2,000 cash, I'll be rolling in dough. So hey, a big monster, come out from below. So hey, a big monster, come out from below.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Be a two-way street for both mother and child. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman.
And now let's head over to Bob with a check on the forecast and the tropics.
Yeah, finally some nice weather for some folks to get out there and do some sailing. No marine advisories. This one's sent in from William Duvall, and this is the Sarasota Youth Sailing Squadron. They were out there doing a little sailing around. You can see the skies were overcast at times, but really no significant weather in terms of severe storms or even rain for that matter near the coast. Van Wezel webcam confirming those high clouds that had been around. The wind's a little bit on the breezy side at times, but not too terrible, and we can still manage that out there in the bays, and some boaters out there finally after a couple of days of advisories. Those are now starting to move away as a result, again, of some high pressure building in and Cindy moving out. Well, there are some storms around, heavy weather, obviously, with the center of the low pressure of the storm system right now getting set to make landfall just after, say, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and near the border of Texas and Louisiana right there with that line of showers and storms moving in. There's always the potential for tornadoes, as a landfalling tropical system can do sometimes, especially in some of these bands here making their way toward the panhandle of Florida and into Alabama and Mississippi. For us, inland storms mainly right now, but some of the outflow boundaries from these cells will generate a few isolated cells popping up right near the coast throughout the evening. Not much rain today, pretty quiet across most of the area. As far as Brett is concerned, that was around just a short period of time that has since faded away, and just the remnant clouds associated with it making it their way through Haiti and also into Cuba. We'll have to keep an eye on this moisture. Right now, it doesn't appear that it's going to have a big influence in our weather, but it could add to some showers and storms, especially on Sunday and Monday. The heat index, it's 98 out there. If you think it feels warm, it is because of that high dew point temperature. Right now, the actual temperature at 90, you factor in the humidity and the winds. Now it's south at 17, the pressure 29.99 inches. That's slowly starting to rise, so high pressure is actually forcing Cindy off toward the west-northwest away from Florida. 92 the high today, above average. 89 is our normal, and 97 the record. This morning's low is warm too at 77 degrees. No rainfall to report today. Look at that monthly total, 10 inches of rain for us here, and we're over 5 inches above average and just 7/100ths of an inch below average for the entire year. And 90-degree temperature, the warm spot here along the west coast of Florida, 91 in Bradenton. 86-degree water temperature. It's 89 in Arcadia now. Some storms nearby will cool things down in our central counties. And the hourly forecast looks pretty good tomorrow. We'll have partly cloudy skies, a lot more sunshine anticipated in the upcoming days as a result of the high pressure system building in. Temperatures will be a little bit on the warm side, though, and the high humidity will make it feel even warmer out there. The rain chance tomorrow not all that great, either only at 30%. Look at these cool temperatures in Ottawa and Montreal, Buffalo, Toronto, Detroit, all in the low 70s. Then you go west, and things really start to heat up. Unusually hot, 98 degrees at Salt Lake, 114 now in Phoenix, Albuquerque at 98, and 92 degrees in Dallas. Temperatures much milder over the southeast as a result of the cloud cover from Cindy. Now, the overall rainfall, well, there's not a lot going on except for the moisture coming in from Cindy across most of the deep south right now. There's a little clipper system moving through Iowa. For boaters, winds out of the south turning to the southwest at 15 knots. We'll start off at 15, subside to 10, seas 2 to 4 feet. And if you think about boating or thinking about boating as we push toward the weekend, looks good. A light chop anticipated on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Water temperature now 86 degrees, and the beaches will see a high right around 87. Upcoming tides, we have a low tide right around 6:30, but a high tide at 12:45. And tonight, partly cloudy, a few scattered storms are still possible. That rain chance fairly low. Warm and muggy, 78. And then partly cloudy, 90 for high. Southeast winds turn to the southwest. The extended forecast, less of a chance for rain, drying out a little bit. Through Saturday, starts to pick up a little bit Sunday and Monday, and then it's back to the summer throughout all of next week. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. Drivers heading northbound along I-75 between Clark Road and Fruitville Road are still seeing delays. It seems the earlier congestion near the University Parkway exit is clearing up. And remember, when there is a bad crash or a traffic issue on the Suncoast, you can find out about it instantly. All you have to do is download the My Suncoast app. You will get traffic alerts, important news updates, and weather forecasts delivered right to your phone.
Uber has lost the driver of its company. Travis Kalanick has stepped down as chief executive officer. The 40-year-old helped found the ride-sharing company in 2009 and built it into a transportation and technology giant. But Uber has been hit with several crises in recent months, including sexual harassment allegations and a reported criminal investigation by the Department of Justice. Last week, Kalanick told staff he was taking an indefinite leave of absence following the death of his mother, but the move failed to diffuse demands from investors that he resign.
Global warming could lower the quality of your coffee. That's according to a new study published in Nature Plants that finds that Ethiopia, the world's 5th largest coffee producer, could lose a significant amount of suitable farming land by the end of this century because of climate change. And when temperatures rise, they've been doing in Ethiopia, the warmth causes the coffee to ripen too fast, which means it doesn't have time to develop complex flavor.
Do you know the way you move your computer mouse may reveal if you're lying? Researchers at the University of Padova in Italy say it is possible. They recently conducted a study that shows there are differences in mouse movements between an honest answer and a dishonest one. For instance, people giving truthful answers slid their mouse directly to an answer, while people giving false answers took a longer indirect path. Researchers say the technology may someday be used to help identify terrorists entering countries under false identities.
Thinking of getting your kid the wildly popular fidget spinner, a consumer group is warning parents to think again. The group World Against Toys Causing Harm found that the spinners, already banned in many schools, can fall apart and the small pieces can create a choking hazard. Children in Texas and Oregon have been taken to the hospital recently after choking on fidget spinner pieces, especially for younger kids who tend to put stuff right in their mouth.
Yep.
This is not a good option. And then the other danger, I mean, we can make a danger out of anything, so, you know, I don't want to get too alarmist, but the other danger, if you spin it and you throw it while it's spinning, it's like accelerated velocity, so it could be really dangerous to hit someone in the face.
So somebody responsible could probably have one, but yeah, a young kid probably.
Little kids, not a good idea. Entertainment news is next.
Stay with us.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill, I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
What's a nice Jewish girl to do when she can't introduce her WASP boyfriend to her conservative parents? Hire an actor. Hilarious and insightful, Bo Jest is at the Players Center June 14th through the 25th, and it's your ticket to a sizzling summer. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit theplayers.org. Don't miss Bo Jest.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean really moves me.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Prince Philip is in the hospital.
Buckingham Palace says the 96-year-old husband of Queen Elizabeth was hospitalized on Monday night to treat an infection. It's unclear how long the prince will be in the hospital. His hospitalization comes more than a month after he announced he would step down from public engagements later this year.
The Pennsylvania judge who presided over Bill Cosby's sexual assault trial is expected to decide whether or not to make the names of the jurors who deadlocked in the case public. The judge says he's worried that the release of the jurors' names would have a chilling effect on the selection of jurors needed for Cosby's retrial if the first jury discusses its deliberations with the media. But lawyers for news outlets argue the names should be made public to ensure transparency in the judicial process. A mistrial was declared Saturday, and a retrial is expected to begin within about 4 months.
An attorney representing one of the contestants on Bachelor in Paradise says further investigation of the reality show is needed. The production of the hit ABC show was recently suspended because of allegations of misconduct. Warner Brothers says they have conducted a thorough investigation into these allegations and found no misconduct or harm involving any cast members. The studio says it has worked with an outside law firm in this investigation.
A charity, Single, produced by Simon Cowell, has been released to help the victims of that devastating fire in London that killed at least 79 people. Nearly 50 artists are included on the recording of Simon and Garfunkel's Bridge Over Troubled Water. The singers featured include Rita Ora, Robbie Williams, Liam Payne, and Jessie J. The single's release marks 1 week since that devastating fire.
Different type of show to what's seen before.
Well, that's great. That really was just horrific. So any help they can get is great.
We'll be right back with more news. Stay with us.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.